Hey, oh shit, what's up guys? Just here at thebholeshow. I just made a video talking about one of the highest I've ever been in my life and the most paranoid I've been, and also the amazing relief that came afterwards. Right now I'm gonna talk about, I just had an idea. I'm gonna do a video on how to stay in shape as a truck driver. And when I say truck driver, that could mean somebody who drives like 18-wheelers cross country and never really gets a break. It could be somebody who works a 9-to-5 job driving a truck. It could be somebody, you know, or even fuck, if you're like a pizza boy, I don't know. If you spend most of your day sitting down or on the road or something like that, there are ways to stay in shape. And I'm gonna talk about how I did it. And I'm gonna also mention how I saw other people doing it. So I was a truck driver for about 6 months, and thankfully, before I became a truck driver, I was already in excellent shape. I was already now, keep in mind, in my early 20s, I was a lot more muscular. I carried a way more muscle, a lot more, I was just thicker and more massive. I used to weigh about 200 pounds and I was just jacked. Now I'm about 170, you know, so I'm not jacked anymore. Now I'm just kind of lean and more fit. Anyways, so when I go to this trucking school for like 2.5, 3 weeks, a lot of the other guys there are not in good shape. They're just not in good shape. They're usually old, they got bellies, they're scrawny, they're fat. I was one of the very few in-shape guys there. There was a couple others, don't get me wrong, but generally speaking, they were all in pretty terrible shape. And even people would ask me about advice. They would ask me like how I stay in shape, and I would give them tips, and we'd even like work out a bit together when we had time to. Anyways, how did I stay in shape? So at first, what I did is I stopped at a Walmart and I just simply bought a kettlebell. I bought a 35-pound kettlebell, just one, and I got the push-ups, the little perfect push-up things where you put on the ground. Now keep in mind, you don't need those. You can just do regular bodyweight push-ups, man. But listen, as a trucker, you're kind of limited to, because you obviously don't have a gym space. You just can go outside essentially. You can also do workouts inside the truck. If you want to do workouts inside the truck, what I used to do was in the sleeper, there was a top bed, there was a bottom bed. So what I would do is I would put my feet on the bottom bed and I would face the beds with, I would face the bed, and then I'd do pull-ups in the top bunk. And I would just rest my legs on the bottom bunk and completely let my legs go limp and just isolate my upper body to do pull-ups. I would do those. I would do incline push-ups off the bed. I would do dips. There were two armrests on the there was an armrest on the driver's seat and passenger seat. If you put them both down, it was perfect width to do dips. Obviously, you can do bodyweight squats, you can do planks, you can do crunches, you can do Supermans, you can do any kind of bodyweight exercise essentially. If you want to go outside though, your options skyrocket. Like what I used to do is I invested in a pair of dumbbells, I invested in a kettlebell, I invested in the push-up things, which I didn't use after a while. I just did regular push-ups. But guys, what I did is I made a decision every single day. When we stopped at a truck stop, what I did is I worked out for at least, I went hard for at least 15 to 20 minutes every day. Or sometimes not every day, maybe like 5 days a week. But that was enough to at least maintain. I did lose muscle mass because I wasn't lifting heavy weights, but because I was getting the cardio and the resistance training in, and I was eating like I had a brain, I was still able to stay lean and in very good shape. And I definitely got, I guess, respect from other truckers. Like they always respected me because I was in good shape, and a lot of them thought I was like a Marine or something because I was buff, or I was, like defined or whatever. I was always working out. And it's really, really tough to stay motivated, man, because most truck drivers don't come across, they don't get sex, a lot of them. And if they do, they're typically from lot lizards. A lot lizard is like a truck stop whore. They go to truck stops and they go and knock on the trucker's door and try to have sex with them for money and or drugs. And I've seen plenty of them. Never fucked a lot lizard. Other thing about being a trucker and staying in shape is obviously you need to exercise. Obviously you need consistency, you need discipline. You can't go to Walmart and buy a kettlebell and say, yeah man, I feel good about myself now because I paid money for something that I can work out with, and then you never fucking do anything with it. So you actually have to have the discipline to fucking make that first step and break a sweat and move. Next thing is nutrition, and that's the biggest thing is nutrition. Now, most of the time, if you're a trucker, you're going to be stopping at truck stops and gas stations and warehouses. And in the warehouses, they usually have like vending machines, or if they do have food to eat, it's usually always processed shit. So how do you eat healthy as a trucker? Well, what I used to do is I would go to a Walmart, and in the truck we had a little mini fridge. And what I would do is I would buy, I'd buy some fruit, I'd buy some stuff to make sandwiches with. I'd buy healthy, like real food, and actually make my own food in the truck. You can even buy a little grill, a stove for your truck, and just plug it into the adapter there, and you could actually cook your own fucking food there. You can make grilled chicken, you can make steaks, burgers, whatever you want to make. So definitely, if you're going to be a trucker, I would suggest that you invest in a mini fridge. I would suggest that you go grocery shopping instead of eating at a truck stop, because it's going to cost you more money eating at a truck stop. And it's so bad for you. It's so bad for you. Like my trainer, I had a trainer when I was driving in Texas. He was a Mexican guy. We drove from the Mexican border every day to Houston, Texas, and then back to Laredo, Texas. And he was a Latino gentleman. He was an alright guy. It's kind of like a gangster, like what's that fucking motorcycle gang he was in? Bandidos or some shit like that. Bandidos, man. Hey, man. Bandidos, man. See. And I remember every day he would stop at McDonald's and he would get like 4 quarter pounders, so that's about a pound of shit. He would get a giant Coke. He would get a large Coke and he'd get a large tea at the same time. He'd get 4 quarter pounders and he'd get like 2 large fries, and literally his stomach like was over the steering wheel. So yeah, man, people who are truckers typically have terrible nutrition. No, they don't exercise. Usually smoke, and on top of that, they sit a lot. So your posture gets fucked up, your diet gets fucked up, your joints get tight, they get stiff, it's just a terrible thing, man. So I do not recommend anybody become a trucker, but if you do become a trucker and you want to do it, please make an effort to at least stay in some kind of shape, man. Like if you don't want to invest in dumbbells or kettlebells, go back to body weight exercises, man. You got burpees, push-up, body weight squats, lunges, you got planks, supermans, you got all types of crunches, just basic shit, man. Go on a walk. Other ways I used to see people working out is they would go jogging. They park at a truck stop, they throw on their runners and they go jogging. I see other people jump roping. I would see what else would I see? That's pretty much about it. Pretty much the stuff that you would think. Some truck stops had like weights. There were some truck stops that had weights, not very many. And the times that I would go there with weights, I would use them. And it was funny because like I'd see all these big ass trucker guys, like these like seemingly big strong guys, and I'd be pumping the weights. Like I'd be doing the dumbbell presses with like 80-pound weights. I'd be repping like 80 pounds on each hand. And I didn't think it was like an immense amount. Like these guys look like they could do that effortlessly because they're so big and like tall and whatever. And they're looking at me like, holy shit, dude! Like you're strong as fuck, man. So yeah, man, it's just a weird fucking industry, man. It was a weird vibe, and again, like I wouldn't recommend that anybody become a trucker. But like I said, if you do, you fucking stay in shape and try not to do it forever, unless you're the type of person that can do it that long. Anyways, man, I'm gonna turn this shit off now. Hello, want to say hi? Say hello? Yeah, I don't want to ride, man. I don't want to ride. It's so, dude, it's so funny. Like if I want to ride, I'll ask you for a ride. Like if you see me walking up and approaching you, and I'm not making any kind of eye contact with you, I'm paying you zero attention. What the fuck makes you think that I want to ride your shitty ass moto? If I want a moto, I'll ask you. Just little things like that annoy me, man. But it's like that when you go to any poor country. Like I've been to the Caribbean, man, and it's constantly getting hustled for people to rub aloe vera on you, charging you $10. I remember that this guy did that on St. Kitts. This fat ass Caribbean guy, he runs up to my brother, starts rubbing aloe vera on his legs because my brother's a little bit sunburned, and he doesn't even give a price. He just says it's gonna be $10. Needless to say, we don't give him $10. Give him $5, and even that's way too goddamn much, man. So definitely, if you guys are coming to Cambodia, any third world country, it's definitely something that you got to get used to. Like people constantly trying to hustle you and ask you to get a ride and buy their shit, man. Anyways, I just wanted to share that little story with you guys. Not really story, but just give you all a few tips. If anybody's thinking about being a trucker, if anybody sits in a damn office all day, man, that shit is terrible. It's terrible for your soul. Any job where you have to sit all day, where you're not doing anything creative, like where you're driving or entering data into a fucking computer or anything like that, that shit sucks. It's soul numbing, it's soul sucking, it's terrible for your body, your mind. So if you're stuck in that kind of rut, if you're stuck in that kind of lifestyle, man, I highly suggest you get the fuck out, break a fucking sweat, and eat healthy. All right? Anyways, guys, I'm No Joe Coward. I'm gonna put on my, on my contact info in the description box below. About to go get some coffee, upload a couple videos, and I'm also gonna not give any fucks.